Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening, whatever time zone in the world you all are. Okay, das war a little awkward. It's your blue archive gacha whale, you're missing a fish, beginner artist self-proclaimed, and your boy Toast-san you. Welcome to the stream. For today I will be doing VTuber fan art of Tsukishita Kaoru. Or lost Holostars member. Welcome. So, if you're not really familiar with this program here, I do like every single week at least like one art stream, you know, or you don't know, but now you know. And currently my goal like regarding art and keeping this like consistent is like to draw every single Holo Star Pro member, Holo Live, Holostars, you know. And since I have like drawn many Holo Live members like before, I'm gonna go over to like Holostars and think like gonna start off with those who are like inactive. I kinda was like yapping about it last week and kinda like develop into, oh, let's draw like Tsukishita Kaoru. And might be a little bit interesting because Holostars consists like of the boys, you know, but Tsukishita Kaoru looks like a girl, you know. And I don't know if you're like kind of familiar with like Japanese culture, you know, but they have like things like cross-dressers, you know, like boys who like to dress like as girls, you know. And or like to like wear cute clothes. Since yeah, if the thing of like manliness, you know, the thing of like being a man and stuff, is not necessarily cute, right? And some are like more drawn towards that and can be like kind of fascinating, to be honest. And yeah, and I kind of like the contents, you know, when I went like for a clip of like this is basically Holostars, or like kind of like a summary to like Holostars or so, and I saw like this pink haired member there and I was like, I'm interested. Okay, you know. And it was like in a time where I kind of like where I did look into like them, like around 2019 2020 or so, and I guess like the lifespan of this member was like pretty short, I suppose. Kind of like felt like they were like for longer time around, but recently I saw like some YouTube recommendations. I got like some video recommendations regarding like really new videos, you know, from like this year, and then they dug up like some info about this member and be like, oh, 3 months also that Kaoru was like in. And thinking about that, yeah, that would be like really sure, but at the same time, was it really like free? Not sure. But yeah. But I guess it's like more or less with that also a good time like to draw this this VTuber. So why not? I have not much of an idea, but but after like returning home after like some work, some extra work day, I think like drawing should be like okay to like decompress and like calm down. Nice for like resting. I will be like yapping during this art stream, and the stream can be like 2 hours long, 3 hours. If I'm like fast, I can be done in 1 hour, but do not expect too much, you know, regarding that, since it's my first time drawing Kaoru-san, you know. So yeah. If you can like feel free to like keep that in the background, you know, and have like the yapping in the background as well, or have like somewhere on the second screen, I don't know, and like see how the progress is like every now and then. I'm not I wouldn't like say I'm a slow artist. I can be like quite fast if I'm like okay, I don't need to like do quality artwork, just YOLO it and then dekimashita, you know. But since it will be my first fan art of like Kaoru-san, I kind of want to make it a little bit of justice, you know, like not be too bad there with the first time. So don't really have an idea there, but I'm gonna like see where this goes, and yeah. Maybe like it would look good enough if I just like do it with this here alone, but gonna like see. By the way, Kaoru-san is has also the same mama as like Aokun. Aokun graduated like recently. Kind of a coincidence, I suppose, but maybe like also not, you know, since Aokun was like around for more than a year, you know, it's kind of like solid. I like the art style, I suppose. It's like pretty clean from both of the sides. Like usually like when Holos pros, you know, have like the model, they're like mostly drawn by like some famous renowned or like skilled artists from Japan, you know, like, or like Holostars. A lot of them, like let's say like Tempest, or like almost all of the parents there were like FGO artists. Some of them are like artists for like otome games, you know, right? And when I think like about Myth, for Kiara it was like Hyuke Sensei, you know, the artist from Black Rock Shooter, and the art there is like super cool, like from Hyuke Sensei, you know, Hyuke Papa. And it was kind of like nice to see that someone who can like draw such cool art is also like kind of funny, you know, like guarding like the banter back and forth between like Kiara and Hyuke Papa, you know. And didn't thought I would get to see this kind of like back and forth, you know. Like E-Sensei, for example, is an artist but also VTuber, you know, and then the combination of like Subaru also like great. Regarding like Kaoru's artists, you know, I can't like say too much, I must like say, but from the only series also I could like maybe like tell, oh, this is like the same artist, maybe it's like, nah, I don't really know how to like translate this series in like English, this English title. But it was like overall like clean art style. nothing too like groundbreaking, but also like but it's also like, you know, like solid enough to like deserve that. Like the models look like clean enough. But yeah, should draw this on a different layer of the hand. Yeah, we should draw this on a different layer. Let's go with the return button. Control Z. Okay. The last days, you have seen me stream a lot of Blue Archive, I suppose. I have been like slacking regarding reading, since it takes like quite a while. And I had like other things too. I saw like priority in other things I was like busy with. So I put that on the back burner. And so far, I do enjoy the Blue Archive streams. Even though there are like here and there the bursts from my side regarding like, ah man, I hate like the localizer station and they're like typos and oh, the sentence doesn't make sense, I'm getting a stroke, and yeah, they're like those things still out there that are like pretty minor, but you know, if it keeps appearing, it yeah, it's like something I consider as like like something that will stand in my way of like enjoying like the story, you know, like every roadblock there that is pretty much unnecessary there, but I suppose it can't be helped, you know. I think I don't need too much details on that other hand, so now I can go all in, I suppose. Can I go all in now? But maybe or maybe not. But okay, let's go. I'm gonna draw like the details, like all the rough out shapes, you know, like chin, face, hair, clothing. This will be the next step. I'm gonna make this more transparent. Don't need that much of a help. Hello frame, welcome to the art stream. I'm doing video fan art right now from a Holostars member, or like ex-Holostars member, called Tsukishita Kaoru. Holostars usually like are like boys, you know, in there, but there's like one crossdresser with Tsukishita Kaoru, who was like a member around 2020. I say like was, since their lifespan, if I remember like from a recent YouTube video, according to the thumbnail, like about 3 months. So so probably like very unknown, but was like a pretty based guy. Had like Beyblade streams and such, and it was like something that made even like the Beyblade mangaka, Beyblade creator, so aware of this member, and how I would like say he gained momentum. Had like a genuine joy for that. And I think like I saw like something like of a Beyblade manga or so with like cow in it, and was like kind of like cool Easter egg, I say, like nice inclusion, I suppose. It's also super funny, this guy. They say like guy, you know, it might be possible about cross-dresser, you know, like a guy who dresses up as a girl because it's cuter, you know. And I think like it's kind of like interesting like how some recent anime media, you know, like media in general, like kind of like cover that, you know, that like Dress Up Darling, there's like a guy who cosplays like as girl characters, and actually, you know, sometimes it takes a real man to become best girl, and I guess it's kinda, you know, kinda is like becomes like the truth. Yeah, it's like interesting like how it's not like by a lot, but you know, I see, but it is like there somewhat. In the West, this culture's like not really, but you know, it's like kind of like nice to see it in entertainment media, I suppose. So yeah, drawing this VTuber so that I have like drawn him the first time, and then I can be happy about that. Okay, let me see. Like long hair. I'm not really like sure. Regarding all the details of like the character design, but I'll do what I can. And yeah. This is on the wrong layer. Tashkani, it is on the wrong layer. Alright. Then I have to erase a lot of things. Let's do a lasso. Oh, actually, let me see, how much do I have to erase? Yes, I have to erase a lot. Alright. Maybe let's do this thing. Yeah. Oh yeah, I have to erase a lot of things. So I wasted like about 3 minutes, yeah. Oh yes, oh yes. A lot of things have to like disappear. But redoing a lot of things is like kind of like normal in life, you know. Sometimes you're like not really happy with what you have like done previously, you know. But the thing is like you gain experience and then you can like restart. Like your second run might be better than your first run, right? Life itself, you can't really restart the run, but the thing is like after you fail, you learn a lot more and you can take a lot away from that. The thing is like the only way you can like kind of safely do a New Game Plus is like taking advice from the people older than you, you know, who did this run. Mostly those are like parents or like senseis, like teachers, you know. And take it like seriously, you know, what they teach you. If they suck at teaching, then, you know, there must be like a way to communicate that, you know, without like being too direct and like hurt their feelings, you know, but just like have some positive criticism, you know, or like have like some properly worded criticism so that's like, you know, that the message gets across, you know. But yeah, in general, when you do mess up, then like those who came before you, you know, are help. And during today's day of like internet, you can find like a lot of like resources, you know, maybe like in life for like applications or so, or like in games regarding like tips and tricks, 10 things you should avoid, follow these 5 tips to grow like fast, you know. There are like plenty of like stuff like that out there. Like even drawing you can like learn via online. It's easier right now. And there's limitless potential. But now I'm like kind of good, but regarding like potential, it just needs a little more knowledge, you know, and then applying this knowledge. But for now, I'm like kind of like good for now, for this part, since the goal is just like draw every Holo Pro, and then afterwards, let's see, you know, like setting yourself some goals, pretty helpful, or like growth. I think when I'm done with that, there might be like another challenge. I was like kind of like saying, hey, if I'm like done with that, I could like draw like other characters if I please to. But at the same time, I might like go to another challenge, you know, since I kind of have to keep it up with like a weekly drawing. I don't have to, but the thing is like content creation, I think like I will do like for a while. Like do my things on YouTube and like Twitch, but mostly like YouTube. And yeah, I kinda need the skills of like drawing. Things like if you can draw, you can like draw your thumbnails, you can draw like things for YouTube videos or so, right? They're like those who have like some mascots or like that is like their profile picture, their channel kind of thing, you know. And kinda like like nice asset, a nice thing in the skill set, right? Even like playing a certain game and being good at this game can be like a skill. Not like the most useful one, but if you like, you know, go like, okay, this is my specialty, I'm gonna focus only on this specialty, you know, then this can like work out, you know. the audience might not be the biggest, you know, but you will have like a strong enough like fan base, supporter base, I suppose. And this can be also quite valuable, you know, like focusing on a niche. Like when I, for example, play video games, I like the stealth class, like for example, the most. And then focus only on that, you know. If I do not get spotted, you know, then I won't get sneak attacked on, you know. I can always decide to be the first one to attack. And the thing is, like, when you attack like from behind, it does like a lot more damage also. Sometimes you can insta-kill like some opponents like that. And it's like a hefty advantage I always like abuse. Like in Oblivion or like Skyrim, like I like to do it, but mostly like Oblivion, since playing like on stealth mode was like pretty OP. And then you could like cheese like opponents once they spotted you, you know. You could like go invisible and then or like go like kind of a chameleon mode to like be more harder to spot, you know. You could like hide in the shadows, like sneak in the shadows, and you're like they are harder to spot, like especially if it's dark, you know. It gets more and more difficult and the farther away you are. Like if you shoot for example an arrow, you know, then they know like roughly the direction where you come from. Or they know exactly where you are, but once you go invisible, okay, they lost you. At some point across gun, then you can like strike again, you know. And I think I really like in Oblivion, for example, like there's like a little bit of a sneak attack bonus, you know. If you shoot like a bow and arrow, you do like 3x amount of damage, but if you do like a melee weapon, it's like 5x amount of damage, right? And there was a cool thing that you could abuse there. Like when you shoot an arrow and quickly switch like to a melee weapon, then your arrow would like do 5x damage instead of like 3x, you know? And this was like something I always abused to like do the max damage. There was also like a magic system, you know, and everything, but the thing is like that melee, like physical weapons and so don't cost really much, you know. And you could always like loot arrows from like opponents or like some bandits on your way, whatever. Like they're always replenishable, a replenishable resource. And I really like that in about this game. Usually I'm always worried when I play like some kind of RPG game that my resources will run out, but in Skyrim, in Oblivion, mostly Oblivion, I didn't have to worry at all. I think like in Morrowind, for example, I had like a similar kind of power play there, but thing is like you power grab like all the NPCs like way too fast there, you know, once you like learn how to levitate, and then they cannot reach you. Like you are like in the air, they have no ways of like striking you back. They can have like bow and arrow, for example, but once you're like, let's say on the roof of a building, then they can't really hit you, you know. The attack, the range is like not that big. Since like some of the attack, like bow and arrow have like physics, you know, it will like fall gravity, you know, something like that. So I got quickly bored of that. I didn't progress with the main story there. I didn't like do any quests. You know, I just like tested the limits of like how much I can F around. At some point with Oblivion was also the point, but the thing is like by then I completed like actually like the story, you know. I did all the side quests as well. And yeah, for Skyrim I never came that far, like completing everything. Maybe no, I didn't complete everything, you know. I got like bored at some point. But the thing is also like in Skyrim I reached like a kind of power play with like the stealth modes, you know. That I could always like disappear mid-battle, you know, what I couldn't like do in Oblivion. But the thing is like having so much freedom. and do whatever you want. You don't even have to like play the main story and have like still fun, like F around like in GTA. Whilst like one of the greatest things there. It's like kind of a shame that like a lot of modern games nowadays don't give you that amount of freedom anymore, but yeah, that's like why the good old times are like something I do recommend like to a lot of like gamers and new gamers. Like my siblings, like my little sister for example, she is not much, she didn't play like enough games to like really like see how fun it can be, you know. Instead they like went like to some gacha hell, you know, like fun with gacha, with Genshin Impact, and because like a lot of the options she like had available suck, you know, like no own PC on a laptop, it doesn't really like run well. There's like no Genshin on like a Switch or whatever, then yeah, can't like do much there. But I hope like I can like kind of like convert her to like play proper games, you know, and gonna like see about that. Like not everyone like in my family is like a otaku, but gonna like see what I can do there, and it has like a lot of like peak there, but at the same time it's also like okay if you have like some normies in your social circle, you know, since having like someone who's into Warhammer, for example, can be like quite interesting, or like Magic the Gathering or so. And even if you have differences, you know, hey, you like this thing, might you explain it to me, you know, then I get like to know things I don't know about, instead of like, you know, being like an echo chamber and just hear the same things over and over again. Sometimes you need like here and there a fresh of air. Okay, let's see how I do this. Sometimes I like falls really silent, like when I like draw. I might like run out of topic, or I'm just like very focused. The thing is, like with running out of topic, I don't really like worry too much, I must like say, since I kind of like always like find something at some point. But also I don't like, you know, I'm not like really yapping for the sake of yapping. Sometimes there's like a little bit of a meaningful mix up here and there, or like even like in silence there's like some meaning, you know. Like I had like some like friends, you know, like plenty, or like a friend group and everything. But it's just like normal that you like separate yourself from like friend groups, that you separate yourself from bubbles you were like once part of. Like when you like leave like elementary school, go like to middle school, and then from there to high school, and from there to university, or like searching for a job already, you know. And I left, for example, like one of my circles, friend circles, also behind, in order to like pursue like my goal, my dream. sometimes I do reconnect with them, you know, but it is just can be like quite interesting. Like, you know, like this kind of thing of like separating yourself in the first place. I didn't think much of it, you know. And then you can like kind of see where they are like right now. As well, like in the time you have been like absent from that circle. But sometimes there's like something in the silence, you know, that you can get from. Like maybe some wisdom, you know, like some kind of answer. After like enough time has passed. Maybe like about years, you know, like years. That you get, learn something from that experience. Like some kind of response you're like waiting for. Maybe sounds like weird, but there's actually like something about that. Like after being like in the group for a long while to go like solo, you know, like that's kind of, you know, in the fiction there are like some kind of stories of like the lone wolf, you know. Lone wolves are like usually like familiar with teamwork. They're like in a pack and everything, you know. They work as a team. But then there's also like the thing of a lone wolf who's like solo. Maybe banished from the pack, or like the pack is gone. I have no friends anymore. I have no more family. You know, something like that. And then goes this way through life alone. For a period of time. And this time, you do gain something of experience. Like, don't be like, you know, like Kirito, you know, like in this MRPGs and be like, hey, you wanna join a team? No, I play solo, you know. And then you do like the Black Swordsman arc, you know. no. But you know, it's just like a basic thing in life generally, you know. It can also be totally fine if like with not going the solo path, you know. But just like every now and then you need like a break. Sometimes you need a long break, sometimes like short break. It's like different from person to person. But for myself, when I had like this long break, it did help. Actually, it did help. And I came like a lot more positive out of that. My aura changed. Some of my friends like commented there. Before I was like a lot more frustrated. Easily frustrated. And I could like get in a kind of dark mindset. I was like a kind of a downer. But yeah, time off really like helps. Time off really helps. Time doesn't heal all wounds, but time can heal many wounds. I kind of like this design. It makes you, it's very hard to tell if this really hides like the body parts, like the broad shoulders, for example, like really well. Like things that kind of indicate this is a guy, you know. And also like men have like different hands, like they're like more bigger than those of a girl. And if you like cover up for the most part, it doesn't really like, you know, it doesn't become like noticeable. I think like I draw like until here. Like until here. I don't have like to try everything. It's just like, it was just like in a sketch, you know. I don't have to include everything. And once I add the colors, it's like gonna be like recognizable. The thing is like when I did like the thumbnail thing, you know, it's like, is the character recognizable by the silhouette? Some are, some not. Most Holostars are not recognizable by the silhouette alone. Like, since the base on like the design is nothing like too remarkable. Like if it's based on some kind of concept like fantasy, adventurous party or so, demon lord, whatever, then you can make like something really recognizable. But with Kaoru, it's just like a normal human being, you know, based off like some kind of trend in the otaku sphere. And then yeah, sometimes it's like not a trend, you know, like Aran-san, Italian, old man, but you know, the character, no, let's say the person behind Aran carries it. It's like a container. And is into lore. So even like gamers can appreciate him. I kinda like how he was able, with limited information, you know, like to already theorize about like Undertale, like about about like Gastar, you know. WD Gastar, I think this was like WD was like for wingdings, right? Something like that. And the man who only talks in hands. And then that the characters, you know, like Papyrus or like Sans, their names are like based on like the font style or something like that. Like some of those things I knew like from the game Theory, you know, MadPat, a legend nowadays. But also it was interesting like with how much like Aran was like able to connect in like his playthrough. And sometimes like slower playthroughs so that he could like yap and like theorize a lot more. And this was like something like in the old ages, you know. But yeah, it's just like sometimes the concept, the design is not all that is like mattering, but also like how does the performer, you know, elevate that? What can they do with that, you know? Yeah, I like it. So you have been dealt a starter hand, you know? Sometimes the starter hand is like not the most amazing one. But it depends on like how do you play your starter hand, right? What I kinda want to say. Sometimes it's like not a strategy, sometimes just like who you are or what you're most comfortable with. And then this turns out to be like the best thing you could ever do. Because it doesn't feel fake, and still like it's entertaining, you know. It is still kind of a positive attribute about yourself. But at the same time you can have negative attributes, and it's like kind of like important to like recognize, you know, that thing and like to blend that out, like to not reveal too much of that from you. You can still be yourself, but, you know, and not be an asshole at the same time, you know. Even I have like some cards I don't play out, you know, even though they're like available. Sometimes you do not play them out because they're like pretty garbage in the meta, you know. It's like kind of normal-ish, you know, a normal thing. But if you have a relationship, for example, then your significant other will like get to see that shitty deck, shitty hand cards, you know. Some of your weaknesses, some of your dark secrets, you know. Then it's like really about how you both like can solve that, because you're gonna see also like your significant others like shitty deck and everything. It's not really like about leverage, I say. There's like the upper hand there. It's about cooperation, I'd say. And still like be able to get along. It's not necessarily like in anime having like, oh, we're compatible, we're like perfect for each other. Relationships don't really work out like that. Hello, Zaz, welcome to the art stream. I'm drawing Tsukishita Kaoru from Holostars, or like who was a Holostars member. Welcome, welcome. I think like the first time I pronounced the name Zaz, but then I was like, oh, if I exclude the Z, it sounds like ass, right? So it's gonna be like Zaz, right? A nice name actually, you know, when you can associate it with something funny. But I also like think like nicknames, you know, if the name's a little bit on the longer side. Yeah, my name is $. Just kidding, yeah. Yeah, you can really be like that. Oh, about my name. I'm called Zaz. You can pronounce it like ass. Nice to meet you, you know? And this leaves like some kind of impression. My kind of real life name has something that has a similar vibe of like that, you know? And it's like how I can make them remember my name. Since for the most part, people have like a problem with like pronouncing my name. So I gave them kind of the free room to like give me a nickname like that, you know? And then yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm Vincent, but you can call me Vin. You can like save yourself a cent. Like those kind of vibes, you know? And this can leave like a good impression, you know? Like, in every person like meet in life, you know? It doesn't like really matter how much time you spend everything, but like if you meet like in a party like people for the first time or wherever, the first impression like really counts, even like interviews, you know? And if you can make like let like a good first impression, then yeah. So like introductions, the beginnings, they are like really important, you know? So yeah. Be like aware like how you play this kind of starter hand, you know? I'm like glad that I have like something like that. But yeah, even if you don't have, maybe you can like find something, you know, to like make some good impression at first. And then you kind of ride the momentum until the show is over. but also you have to be like aware. Even if you have momentum, you also have like to let the other side play their cards, you know, like in the interview, there's like back and forth. You can't like always dominate like the conversation. You have like to leave like the people, the boss maybe potentially, you know, some room to like play their cards, you know, like hear them out. And once you know in what way they respond to you, then you can like think about your next response, you know. It's like that in games too. We react like to what the response is. And yeah, in real life in general too. I mean, the thing is like also like in conversations, there's like a back and forth. How much to exclude? I don't have to try everything. Even though I will like lose a little bit of like effort of like work I've like done. Sometimes I don't have to try everything for to be good. For the most part, I do like it when I'm called by my name. A lot of people like it as well, you know, when you call them by their name. I think like I sometimes get like annoyed, you know, when people call me something by something else rather than my name, you know. If it's like at least a nickname, it can be like okay, but if they be like, hey boy, you know. Or like in Germany, you know, when they're like foreigners, they're gonna be like, hey Kollege, you know. Well, it can be like kind of okay and funny sounding at first, but if they keep like doing the same thing over and over again, then it can kind of gets like dry and moldy, you know. Moldy to a part where it's like to overuse, and then it's like, hey, call me by my name please, you know. Where my tolerance like turns into like kind of annoyance at some point. Sometimes I do like forget about the name of other people, but you know, I'm not like calling them by a weird nickname or so. I'm just not addressing them by their name until, you know, like someone else is gonna come over and be like calling them by their name, you know, so I'm like, hey, what's up, beep, and then I can call them by beep, you know, for example. They're kind of like avoiding using the name until, you know, I get to hear their name. This is kind of the strat like I do. I wonder like how other people like do it. Like, you know, sometimes they completely avoid it, you know, or like they try to land a shot and, you know, but at least they don't miss at the very least, right? The thing is like, you know, the way to not do a mistake is by doing nothing, you know? At the same time, you don't learn from anything. But the thing is like the consequence of like getting the name wrong is like also, yeah, I'd rather not take the risk, you know? I'm just gonna like tiptoe around it until someone else passes me the ball of like the name, you know? And I'm getting like lately worse at like remembering names. This is like kind of how I survive. Like remembering names and then connecting a face to it, you know? Like for the most part, online names, you know? And then like the real life face, I can connect. But when it comes to a real life name, for example, you know? Like when I meet like gamers in real life, I know them by their username, but I don't know them by their real name. And it's like, you know? Some information you can like look up online, but the thing is also a rule of thumb, you know, and social media usage. Don't really like, don't share your real life name out there, you know. And then not everything is like findable online. I mean, it should be like that way. And yeah, you kind of have like to wait for your opening. Sometimes I go out of the conversations, I leave conversations without ever getting to know the name for the day. And sometimes I do get the pass. I do get like the ball pass by other like people, you know, who pass by and be like, hey, yo, what's up? And then they call the guy I don't remember the name of, you know, they call this guy by their name and then be like, oh, they're called Carl, okay. Now I remember. Now I will keep this in my mind, you know, to not forget it next time. For example. The thing is like sometimes you can't call them by their gamer tag, you know. Hey, XXX Pussy Slayer 69 XXXX, what's up, you know. This is also like the thing that the there are like things you can do and you can't like really do, right? Calling people by their online tag be like... And there's like kind of a interesting like history, you know, when you like asked like some people about the origin of the username as well. And some are like obviously like very young, they were like children, you know, then they give like themselves like some edgy names, and then yeah, and by the time they get older they like cringe and be like, yeah, I can't call myself Edgelord, Dark Edgelord 9000 or something anymore, right? I'm gonna go like for something normal. Some people like are like way too obsessed with like an anime or like some game when they call themselves by the game character or so, or anime character, and then have like same profile picture, you know, and it's like, yeah, I think like if I had internet also back in the time I would be on that phase as well, but I'm kinda glad I never really like went through it. By the time I had like private internet access or so, like on my own, you know, I was like old enough already. So there wasn't really an issue with that. I think like by the time I have like access to internet or so, I was like 17, I think. 16, 17 or so. I think like puberty ended there, I think, yeah. I was like not really much sure yet, but I was not super cringe, I'd say. There's something about the psychology of like people who like don't really share their info online, or like don't even like share their profile picture, like, you know, their photos online, you know. But psychology of like people who are like calm, you know. It's like always like kind of interesting when I like get video recommendations like that. And you can actually learn like something from those kind of stuff. It will not really like be helpful for like school, I suppose, since those subjects are like not really on those exams, you know, but it's good enough food for the brain, you know. And like with eating, it's not about the amount of like food, quantity of food, but like rather quality, you know. So you kind like to remember like informations like pretty well. It's like about how and what information you like choose to like consume, like put into your brain. Similar to like video games, you can't like play a lot of games at once, you know. You can only like play one game at a time, maybe. Maybe two, you know, if you do like some AFK farming, for example in Minecraft, and then you have like time for something on the mobile phone, for example, you know. But overall, it's, you know, what I want to say is like, for the most part, only like focus on one thing at once. Like, if you go like for a video essay, you know, it might be like a 50-minute video, but then don't follow afterwards with like another 50 minutes. You need like a little bit of breaks here and there in order to like remember the information. It's not about quantity, it's like really about quality at this point. Also like drawing, I can't like draw too many times. I could technically like do a marathon and draw a lot more, and with that like kind of flex my abilities there. But yeah, it's better to like keep it in moderation, else I will not be able to stream. By the way, moderation, this will be exception, you know. Like for this week, that I will stream for a lot like Blue Archive. It's a mobile gacha game. made in Korea but published in like Japan. Anime, not anime. It has anime schoolgirls, but also the genres are like military, tactical, RPG. And lately, like Blue Archive is a little bit older, like about 4 years, yeah. 4 years. More than 4 years? Yeah, more than 4 years. Not really sure. 2020 or 2021? 2021, I think it was. 2021? Yeah, 2021. 2020 was like Myth. 2021. Yeah, 2021 was like this in Japan. And 2022, poop like in global. Yeah, I think like something like that. What did I want to say? I forgot now. Like Blue Archive has been around like for a long time. But lately things like girls and like firearms kind of pop off like nowadays. Like that this kind of became popular. How long I'm in? I started the stream at 4 p.m. Now it's like 5 p.m. So like more than 1 hour. Not so bad with the progress I've like done for now. I've like kind of like took it like slowly because I kind of like wanted to focus on the line weight. But if I just like went on to color, I would be like done in an hour-ish, you know. Let's do the colors for now, I'd say. By the way, this is a boy, not a girl. Oh, there's a cute girl you've drawn! Girl? Man. Ah, okay. My son is this kind of guy. No, you're right. But yeah, color my surprise when like color the surprise of a lot of people when I found out there's Ostol, for example, you know? Oh, what a cute girl, man. Nah, this is a boy, mom, man. What? And then, yeah. When was this actually? I think like it was like somewhere like around 5 to 4 years ago, right? I think with Astolfo. Like when a lot of people like when there were like a lot of traps, like those trap memes. Would be like traps in Texas, traps in Russia, and then traps in Japan, you know? And then about being gay and not gay. Because of like traps, you know? This was like some kind of era. And I think like around this time, Tsukishita Kaoru like debuted, yeah. And there was also Kagami Kira, but I think like Kira was like for a lot longer out there. Kaoru only like for 3 months or so. But during that time I like watched like clips and like Consume Hololive, Holostars. Kaoru was around, yeah, Kaoru was active. I kind of was like lucky there, you know. And also at the same time he graduated, I was like kind of like there. But I was like not sure when, you know, not a lot of people like would know that one of the streams would be like his last stream. Like in history, no Holostars member ever ended with a graduation stream, you know. They all graduated after the graduation notice, you know. Like would end their stream activities. So yeah. There was like never a proper goodbye. This could be like Vocaloid character, huh? To be honest, I think if I would try Hatsune Miku, then like the fewer fewer engagement would go like I think. Since this is a lot more popular than like some virtual characters, VTubers and so on. But like regarding virtual characters, Miku, Vocaloid are very popular. I think once I'm like done with a mission, maybe I will consider trying some Vocaloid characters, you know? Like when a song is like trending. Like, you know, like the boom when, for example, like Rabbit Hole, for example, was like out, and then there would be a lot of like Hatsune Miku fan art of like the Rabbit Hole version, or like Monitoring, you know? And then the Best Friend remix is like there. Like, Vocaloid is not really dying. It's not really like going to escape anywhere. It will always like be around in the spotlight of like otakus and like weeps. And maybe like some McDonald's, JP McDonald's like ads. Man, I love those ads. And they're like so based and they're cultured. Like cultured like regards of like meme culture and then like anime weep culture, you know. They had like something there with like Alice's Precious Thing or so. And I would like to like do some of those memes, but those are like also like pretty hard like to pull off. Like meme songs like from Toe, for example. And the people there who like work in this kind of industry, you know, like the Toe fan community, but actually like do like some good fan work, like, you know, the music, the games and everything. They're like really cracked. Like Beat Mario Sensei, Beat to Mario-san. Good entertainers. Like Beat to Mario, for example, is a VTuber now. And it's like kind of great. Seeing them do the good stuff. It will always be weird to me, I suppose, now that I try like Kaoru-san, you know? When I see like, oh, this looks like a girl, and when I hear like a male voice. At some point you get like used to it, you know? And this is like where it can kinda get scary for me, you know? Or maybe not scary, you know? It's always like this expectation, oh, I see a cute girl, you know? When you go into the video, have like the audio activated and then like, huh? You know? Yeah. But I think like what some people, VTubers like nowadays do, like if they're a boy, but they can't compete with the girls, is like, okay, I'm getting carried by an anime girl, you know? When I'm gonna be a VTuber, I'm gonna be like little cute mascots, and I'm carried by a VTuber, by an anime girl, you know? Like when a girl is like holding like a little mascot, and then you're actually like the one voicing the mascot, and you are not the girl, you know? And then sometimes be like, hey, could you get out of the way so I can like see the boobs of this girl? And then, oh sorry, am I gonna get out of the way, you know? You can have like this kind of interactions, you know? I saw this something like that with like an artist and V-artist, where they used like this VTuber girl, you know, as like a Kama Musume, like a poster girl, you know, to like lure people into the channel. even though like the channel owner, the VTuber guy is like, the artist is like a guy, you know, but they have like their VTuber model of a girl, you know, and a lot of people come because of the girl, but but yeah, it's like being carried by that girl, right? But not really scamming them because you're not voicing a girl, but you're voicing the mascot, you know? Something like that. This is like one of the better scams, I would like say. And I've kind of like how accepted like the people nowadays are, you know? At the very least, I don't really like comment anything like there. I don't like write out my displeasure also. Some people do. But the thing is like, because I don't do it that really, and then if I see like, hey, they don't do it either, then cool, you know? There's not really anything like that, I must like say. People are like kind of okay with that. Well, I don't really mind, you know? You do your thing, and I think like I can still like watch other VTubers who are like actual girls, for example. Sometimes I do need the pro energy though. Sometimes I do need the pro energy, and then I do know like who to watch. And if I need like the waifu energy or like something cute to watch, where something comfy, you know, then yeah, I do know like where to go. It can't be like that you have like a harem full of like the same kind of archetype. You need like some kind of mix up, and sometimes you need really like the best friend around you, you know? And then yeah, you have like this kind of pervert guy, but he's like your best friend, your best ally, your best supporter, you know? And yeah, they're like those kind of like genre like in galige or like eroge, you know? Where there's like this cool guy. And I think like in a lot of key games, you know, like key visual novels, you know, like things like Clannad, things like Angel Beats or so, there's always like somewhere like this best friend archetype there. And man, some of those best friends are like the best written characters ever. The biggest giga chat out there. Some games don't have like this giga chat friend. And you can solely focus on the girls, you know. But you know, at some point like anime, in some animes like this kind of like talk about, hey, the gay route, you know. Do you wanna go the gay route? Usually, when I was younger, I was kind of against this idea. But now that I kind of get older and be like, you know, this is like the start of a great friendship, you know? And sometimes those stories are like really interesting. Some games don't utilize it, some games do utilize it, you know? No, it's not gay route, it's the bromance, you know? And yeah. In a lot of sports anime, there's like this kind of bromance as well, more or less. Like Blue Lock, Kirikona Basket, IQ. By the way, the Blue Lock, you know, stands for BL. It was there, right under your nose. You expected some Sakuga football? Soccer? No. It was right under your nose, what it really was. But it's good, still a good series, you know, regardless. But some things like Yuri on Ice are like really obvious. But yeah. I'm straight, by the way, but sometimes I don't have anything against like good bromance. As long as it's interesting, you know. I remember like in Gekkan Shoujo no Saki-kon, there was this kind of thing where two dudes played like otome game, you know, to get like more references on like getting more into the mind of a cute girl, you know. But then there was always like this best friend who always supported you in every single route you like attempted, you know. And then kinda like turns out, hey, this guy's a Giga Chat. I kinda want like to go a route with the best friend. And then turns out there was like something like a bromance route, you know? And then yeah, this was kind of like a good kind of good episode, I must like say. Sometimes you know, when you're looking like for gold or like for silver, you know, that you find the gold, you know, there that was right under your nose, like with this best friend, you know. Hello Rosh, welcome to the art stream. I'm trying currently like Tsukishita Kaoru, ex-Holostars member, someone who was a Holostars member but graduated somewhere in like 2020 to 2021. Pretty ancient like guy, probably you don't know him, but you're welcome to like stay here and like watch the progress and listen to my yapping. It doesn't like take long anymore. I can do it within 2 hours for now. So you kind of like, I think you're not too late, you know, if you can like see the progress like around the end, you know. Coloring is like, I think like something a lot of people like find interesting on like watching the art progress, even though my coloring is like really basic. There's nothing too special there, but you're still like welcome to like watch and stay and listen. Tsukishita Kaoru, by the way, this is a guy, you know. I talked like a little bit about like the topics of like traps and so, or like the things on like cross-dressing a little bit here and there. I kind of like drifted apart and like, okay, you play like a visual novel game, you're like playing the guy, and you're gonna choose like your romantic partner there by like going through a route and like choosing the right options. And then I was like, always like this best friend there, you know. Sometimes there's like this best friend archetype who helps you like with like pursuing the girl, you know. Oh, I know like a lot about this girl, you know. It's like the pervert best friend also. He has a lot of data, and like some girls he like wanted to like date, but then always like fell flat. But then okay, but I can hit my best friend at the very least, like to hit like a score for this girl, you know. And then it's kind of like, man, you're really base, you're like Giga Chat. What if we go for your route instead of like, just ignore the girls, but like go for you? And then yeah, sometimes you really hit like gold with that. Like in terms of like the potential like stories there. And I don't really thought much about it, you know, like back in the days. But now that I kind of look like at it, be like, actually, they actually cooked, you know. Hello, I Rush. The eye's like little. The Rush is like pretty big. Are you supposed to be like, I Rush? In any case, hello, I Rush. Welcome to the art stream. I'm trying Tsukishita Kaoru, who was a Holostars member. Welcome. Like ex-Holostars member, I think like around 2020 they graduated, so there's like ancient history here I'm like kind of like capturing on paper, more or less. But yeah, you're like welcome to stay here. It doesn't take long anymore since I'm the coloring process, and my coloring is pretty simple. You see like on the left there are some samples like I've like drawn, by the way, and this is like kind of the quality you can expect, you know. So it's like nothing too crazy, nothing too big. It's like just solid overall. And fun fact, this Kaoru's son here is drawn by the same artist by who drew like Aokun from Whole Life Device Recloss. So they have the same mama. I just found that out today when I was looking through like the reference sheets for like Kaoru-san. Couldn't like find anything, but when I like kind of click on the artist, you know, I found out, oh, they drew Aokun. Okay, then yeah. A coincidence, I suppose. Very cute chibi art style you got there. Arigato. Thank you, thank you. I would be surprised if like stay here just for my yapping instead of like the art. This like for some people like the reason they stay, but yeah, what do you enjoy about this art style? What do you like about my art? Well, it reminds me of those emojis in Genshin Impact. Eh? Is that so? Emojis in Genshin? I'm not really aware of like those emojis they have like there, but if it has like this kind of vibe. And Genshin Impact, by the way, is like a big gacha game. Like a big game in this franchise, you know? In this genre. And yeah, I see this as a compliment, I suppose. Thank you. I was like asked like once, hey, Tosan, did you draw this emoji? It reminded me of your style, and be like, nah, not really, you know. I haven't drawn this. But cool that you thought about me, you know. Wait, you don't know about Genshin? You seem like the person to like know about it. The thing is like, I know about Genshin, but I don't play Genshin, you know? Technically, I've played Genshin one time, like 2 hours on stream, like one time. And then be like, okay, I'm good. I'm leaving or something. I don't know exactly when. It was like a Twitch stream, and the things like Twitch streams are not getting archived, so it's like kind of lost media. But I played it like one time. Now I'm aware this is a really big franchise, but yeah, I haven't like interacted much with like that. But I do know the art, the character design is pretty good there. I see a lot of cosplayers when I attend like anime conventions, and if I go to social media, I see plenty of like Genshin fan art that are like pretty good, especially like when a new character there gets released, and man, it's like chef kiss. Oh gotcha, the game's a bit addicting, so good for you, good on you for leaving it, lol. Yeah, I suppose, but I suppose like I have like the W, but at the same time I'm like trapped by other gacha games like Blue Archive and like currently the horse racing game Ima Musume Pretty Derby. And yeah, those gacha games they got some hands, and the more you play, the more of your free time is like not stonks, you know. It goes like the paragraph, the graph goes like with the arrow downwards, right? Regarding like time. Free time. If I would like quit streaming now, I would have enough time to play like Genshin regularly, I suppose, but but I do like streaming, so you know, here we are. Yeah, the character design in this game is pretty awesome. That's true, like regarding time management, right? I think like the dailies in Genshin, in order to gain like more pull currency, I think like primal gems or so, they take like a long while to grind or so, that you go like from point A to B or something. Usually like dailies, like how I'm used to, take like about minimum like 30 minutes or like maximum 30 minutes. But in Genshin it's like kind of long, and when you had like a lot of like quality of life issues or there, I can't like remember them. I can't like really pull them out of my brain cells, but I know a lot of people who play it currently, and sometimes they relay that kind of, let's say like critique, you know, into the chat log or so. And then sometimes I happen to like, when I open the chat, to like see that, you know, like 150 unread messages, sometimes it's like the first thing I like see, and then like, ah, okay, and then it changes my mind. So you probably play small games like indie games? Yes, I do. Primal Gems. I've played that game myself, it's pretty exhausting. Okay, then I have like some confirmation there. But yeah, I play like a lot of like smaller or like indie games. Like recently I'm like busy with like Silksong. But in the past I've played like also in the past streams like things like In the Lilies, Metroidvania. I played Hollow Knight this year? Yeah. Also, I played Omori and like some other smaller indie games also. Yeah. Oh, you play indie games? Yeah, I play indie games. Oh, the oval face. Yeah. But yeah, I play. And I played, I think, like also To the Moon. This is like more a story game, you know, like a little bit of a... It's not really a vision novel, but it's like mostly like storytelling rather than like combat or so, you know. It has no combat at all, or actually it has combat at some point, but it's just like a throwaway joke or so. And I kind of like that, but the thing is like I need to pace myself, you know, sometimes wait for like Steam discounts, because I do like want to save some money. And let's say my Steam library looks like pretty big. I think a lot of gamers have like this kind of like thing going on, you know. Steam sales, let's buy a lot of games, and then they don't have time to play them, you know. Once they retire, maybe, you know, from the job, they will have a lot of time to play that, but usually, you know, it's like stacking. And I have like also like a little bit of a catalog there on indie games, but once I'm like done with like Silksong, then I can like play the next game, I'd say. I have like this kind of like schedule for me going on, that I have like a reason to play actually, and like, you know, don't let them like rot there in my library. Oh, you have played one of the greatest games out there. What about Celeste? Omori is also a peak RPG game, and honestly better than Undertale. Well, yeah. Celeste, like currently I have like this kind of joy I found this joy in Silksong with the kind of like jump and run, you know, platforming you could also call it, right? I found this joy like recently and be like, hey, I think I do like me some platforming, you know? But the thing is like, in Silksong there's also the combat. And the thing is I play like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, like competitively. I visit like tournaments. And I was like thinking, hey, maybe this can help me, you know? Like playing Hollow Knight, playing Silksong. And then I just baited myself into like playing a peak game or so, like peak gameplay, peak indie gameplay or so. Celeste, I watched a gameplay of that and it looks really difficult. But I suppose it has like good story as well, since I like saw some interesting character moments here and there. So it has like some writing there going on. Like talking about Omori, it is very emotional. It has like one of the most powerful messages out there. And it covers like a perspective that has not been out there really much, you know. It would be like spoiler if I'm gonna talk about it, you know. But it reminded me a little bit of the story of like Tsuyu, you know. A musician, Japanese musician. You see? If I overshot anything? Yeah, it overshot something. Okay, you're gonna go work. This is more important than like some random art stream anyways, but I'm happy you found me and that you're were here interacting with me. Hope we're gonna see you next time. If there's no next time, that's also super fine. Have a nice one. So I think this looks like pretty solid enough, right? This looks solid enough. I think like I'm gonna work with something small there. On what I can add. Like something really minimalistic, but it's like the thing of like one toothpick changes everything, you know? Like this kind of vibe. And this is like really true about like a lot of like things in like drawing stuff. One toothpick changes everything. Something the small things are like what do a lot of change. It's like a quote in Hollow Knight as well, you know? Like when the smallest guy is like able to like bring in the biggest change. Like indie games in general, they do like a lot of change. They can bring a lot of change. Fascinating. Recently I see like the kind of trend with like Eminem throwing like a pen towards you. Something like that. The Eminem throw meme. And then this gets converted into like hey, pick up the pen, you AI artist or so, you know? And then there's like artwork of like Superman handing you the pen, Penapo handing you the pen, Saitama handing you the pen, and like more variations. I don't know if you like saw that, but there's been like this thing around for a lot. Like I kind of like the Po one, you know, because like one of the message of the movie there, Kung Fu Panda 1, is like there's no secret ingredient, you know. There's no secret ingredient, and like for this kind of AI meme is like, you know, like this hey, pick up the penny artist is like there's no secret ingredient, just you. Or something like that. And with Saitama it's like, you know, a reference on like how he gained like strength, you know, how he became so strong to like break his like limiter or something. If like 100 push-ups, 100 like sit-ups, 100 yeah, like a lot of like things, and then 10 kilometers or something every single day. and like to like keep pushing yourself until you push like past this limiter. And as a result, you got like bold, but also like super strong, right? And then yeah, don't let your potential get limited by like AI. You know, there's so much more you can unlock if you like do it on your own. Don't be afraid to do the first step or something like that. It's like a little bit of a motivational speak rather than like a roast like more and more now. And I kind of like this, how this develops, you know? It started off like as a joke and then it became like more and more wholesome, you know? But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. Thank you all for watching. I wish you all a nice rest of the day, evening, a good night, whatever time zone the world you all are. With that, I'm gonna say bye bye. Bye bye.